Hi there, this is Judy from paperpalmtree.com, and this is the card I have for you today. This is done with the stamp set Message in a Bottle. I've used the whale and the whale hello there. And let me share with you the products that we're using. So for our cardstock, we are using Night of Navy. This is cut at 8.5 by 5.5. I've scored it 4 1/4, and that's the base of the card. And for the matte, I have a piece of Real Red. This is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And for the stamped image, this one's cut at 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And those are the layers for the front of the card. And for the inside of the card, because this is so dark and you need something to write on, I have cut a piece of Whisper White, and that is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. So I've also used I have a scrap piece of Whisper White for the sentiment for Well Hello there, and I have used the Stitch Shapes Framelits die, and this is the second in from the square. So I love this die set. I've used this quite a bit also. So let's get started on making this card. Okay, the two inks that I'm using on this is the Night of Navy and the Real Red. So I'm going to start with the Night of Navy, and I've got my whale mounted on a C block. And one of the important things on this is to keep them level. And so I'm going to take just a little piece of washi just to kind of hold it where I want it to be. And let me open up the ink pad. And I've started here at the bottom, and so I've used the grid paper to make sure I'm lined up. And I'm gonna put the whale just a little bit low on there so I can line it up. Okay, so I've inked up my whale, and it's a little harder to do it on the camera without getting my head in it. So I'm going to line the bottom of the C block up, and I'm going to go 3 across on the bottom. Now, see how that didn't quite stamp? I didn't get enough ink on it, but you can go over it. That's the nice thing about the photopolymer is you can see through them, but I need to be a little more careful on making sure I got enough ink on it. Okay, so you see I've gotten that just off a little bit, but that's okay. They're not perfectly lined up. You could do that with the grid if you wanted to, but I'm okay with it being just a little bit off. I just wanted the whales to fill the space, so I'm going to go right here. And I'm just kind of gauging the bottom of the whale with this grid line. So it's hard to do up here. Okay, right about there. And I'm leaving the space for the red. I'm going to come back and do the red once I got this stamp cleaned up. So this one's off a little bit. And then I'm going to go back up here, and I'm at that line. And right about there. Oop, got that a little light on the ink, so I'm going to try that again. Go there. There. There, and right there, and right there. All right, that's all of the Night of Navy for right now. All right, the next color I've got is Real Red, and I'm going to ink this up and put that stamp right there. A little low there, but that's okay. I'm going to leave that the way it is. it's really hard to get my head in there and line it up like I should for the video, but that's all right. We'll leave that as is. When you're doing it, make it as level as you want and as even out as you want. But for right now, I think that's good. To get my sentiment out, and I'm going to stamp it in Night of Navy on just a piece of scrap white cardstock. And I'm going to go about right there. I like the font on that. It's very simple and cute. So I'm going to take this to the Big Shot and cut this out with the stitch frame. I'll be right back. Okay, let's put this card together. So I'm going to take the Real Red and use my snail adhesive. And that's going to go layer right. Oops. You know, I have to open that up. Get that lined up that way. Seems to be my biggest challenge, is getting it on there straight. Okay, and next is the stamped image. And that's going to go on there. Got a little uneven there, but for the sample we're doing, that's just fine. Never know how this little adhesive thing works. So this on the inside is just so that you can write your sentiment. This Night of Navy is so dark. And the last thing I'm going to do is pop this up with dimensionals. Put a couple on the back. And it's going to go right there. So there's our card. I hope you enjoyed this video today, and if you did, if you'd hit the like button below and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos. I also have a blog at paperpalmtree.com, and you can find all the measurements for this on my blog. So until next time, bye.